What is going on, my beautiful brothers? My name is BetSam. The year is 2026, and I'm here to break down the first UFC card of the year. This is going to be a full card breakdown and prediction, and I will timestamp every single pick and prediction so you guys can skip through to whichever fight you want to see. Let's kick things off with the first fight of the night. We have Adam Fuger taking on Ty Miller. Guys, this is a matchup where this is a UFC debutant against a guy who's been through the ringer in Adam Fuger. 5 losses doesn't really do it justice considering they are putting him through a murderer's row. However, I do believe that Adam Fuger hasn't showed us that he can step up to the level of competition that he's had to face. And, it's one thing to assume that somebody can do something when you've already seen them fail multiple times. So for Adam Fuger here, we've seen him fail the litmus test time and time again. For Ty Miller, 6-0, undefeated, coming off of a very entertaining Dana White's Contender Series performance. The kid is game, he's hungry, and I think that the UFC is putting Adam Fuger in front of him to get him a W and, start his UFC career on the right track. And I'm going to be picking Ty Miller to win this fight by decision. I think that Adam Fuger is getting a bad rap for being fickle and not durable, but I think that he's actually pretty tough. He's pretty hard-nosed, and I could see Ty Miller winning this with a damage and volume-based decision. So let's move up the line here. Then we got Sticky Ricky Tersios taking on Cameron Smotherman. Guys, Ricky Tersios, he ain't it, and whatever it is, Ricky Tersios ain't it. This guy is like a knockoff Walmart Temu version of a Tony Ferguson. This guy, he's got all pace, all heart, he goes for it, but the finishing upside just isn't there. The submissions, not very good. His hands, not very devastating. So Ricky Tersios is going to need his cardio to survive this matchup here. But Cameron Smotherman, he has the better hands. He showcased the better power. The one question mark could come into the fact with output. Cameron Smotherman is a little bit low volume. He is also, not so technically sound down in the grappling that people are going to rave about it, and he can be outworked. However, I think in this matchup, none of that is going to matter. Ricky Tersios comes in here as a relatively large underdog, and I think that the price tag is warranted. Cameron Smotherman, I'm not saying that he's going to go out there and look like a world beater, but he should be able to go out here and get a convincing victory. I'm going to take Cameron Smotherman to win this fight by KO or decision. And if I had to be pinned down to an exact method of victory, I'm going to take Cameron Smotherman to win this fight by, let's go round 3 KO. Then we have Josh Hokit taking on Denzel Freeman. Guys, Josh Hokit is fun on the microphone. He does his shtick, if you will. He plays the character. He buffs it up for the cameras, I don't really love it, but he is doing something to be liked or loved or hated. So, you got to respect him for going out there and trying to drum up excitement because the heavyweight division needs it. On the other side here, Denzel Freeman doing none of that, Denzel Freeman coming in here, kind of a bit of an unknown bogey because we've seen prior to the UFC that he can go out there, he can grapple, he can wrestle, but then coming into the UFC, he has shown us nothing but the most mid kickboxing that you've ever seen. This matchup is going to come down to if Josh Hokit can get Denzel Freeman down and hold him there. And I say hold him there because getting the takedowns isn't going to be enough. He's going to need to control him in positions, create damage, either look to finish him via ground and pound or have sustained control to win a decision. I don't think there's going to be a submission here from the Hokit side. I think it's going to be a ground and pound finish if it's going to be a finish. So I'm going to take Josh Hokit to make good on his word, continue getting those post-fight, promotions where he can just say wild shit and get the crowd revved up. So give me Josh Hokit to win this fight by knockout, and I'm going to go ground and pound round 2 specifically. So Josh Hokit, round 2 KO. Last time I checked, the bookies had that lined at 10-1. So if you're looking to slice off an exact method of prediction, go Josh Hokit, round 2 KO. Low confidence in that, but he is going to be my official pick. Then we have the first underdog pick of the night, which is Michael Johnson taking on Alexander the Great Ape Hernandez. Listen, Alexander Hernandez, no disrespect to the dude. He goes out there, he puts it on the line, and he's on a nice little win streak. But people are forgetting that Michael Johnson has gone out there and fought absolute through-the-ringer level of competition. So Michael Johnson is coming in here. He's old, He's a bit long in the tooth. He is a veteran, and I do think that he's going to be able to contend with Alexander Hernandez here. So this is more of a price play than this guy's going to win outright. But he is the number 1 underdog that I'm selecting out of the entire card. So take that as you will. If you want to go check out my video where we pick Michael Johnson, you can also go do that. It's under Underdog Opportunity on my website there. So Michael Johnson to go out here. I'm going to say he gets this done by decision as well, and I'm not just saying every fight's going to go to decision. There are a lot of finishes that I'm picking later up on the card, but I think Michael Johnson can get a damage-based decision here. He's obviously live to find a finish. Both of these fighters are live to get the knockout there, but I think that Alexander Hernandez can hold up, even if he gets beat up. So give me Michael Johnson to win this by decision. Then we have Alex Perez taking on Charles Johnson. Energy. Listen, guys, this is Charles Johnson, who has a knockout victory over the current UFC flyweight champion, Joshua Van. He also just put away Lonnie Kavanagh, who I went out and expected him to, use his speed and defeat Charles Johnson. So this dude is making waves. Make no mistake about it. On the other side, Alex Perez has one win in the last 5 years. One win, 5 years. Alex Perez is coming into this fight. He's had a plethora of injuries. He has lost fights due to his joints giving out. Example, Tatsuro Taira, where Tatsuro Taira did that weird grappling kind of scramble. It went down as a TKO. Alex Perez has fought elite level of competition. Don't get me wrong. But he's failed almost every single time. Other than that lone victory over Matash Nicolau, Alex Perez has looked absolutely buns the entire time the past few years. And people are going to say, he won a round. Guess what? At the end of the day, winning a round doesn't win you a fight, and he can't seem to win fights. So Alex Perez is going to get smoked by Charles Johnson. Give me energy. Give me the skullet to go out here, handle business, and get back on track to getting that rematch against Joshua Van for the UFC flyweight title. Then we have Nikita Krylov taking on Modestas Bukauskas, the Baltic Gladiator. Guys, Nikita Krylov has been finished up, dusted in his past two outings, both in round one, both by knockout, and both predicted by me, BetSam. And we're going to keep the train going. Look, when something ain't broke, let's not try to fix it. So Modestas Bukauskas, go out here, find that chin of Nikita Krylov that seems so easy to catch in the modern era of MMA, and knock him out in either rounds 1 and 2. So I'm going to go Modestas Bukauskas to win this fight by knockout, most likely in round 1. But yeah, we're just going to go Modestas Bukauskas to win this fight by KO. I like everything for Modestas Bukauskas in this matchup. There are some question marks about the grappling because Nikita Krylov is a fantastic grappler, but after being dusted up twice here, I expect it to go as expected and him to fall on his sword once again. Then we have Arthur Gautier taking on Andre Pulyaev. And I'm not going to waste my time talking too much about this, despite my absolute love and adoration of Arthur Gautier in this spot, because I think that he is absolutely going to go out here and cover his price tag. The problem is that price tag is so damn low that you'd have to bet on him 10 times to make anything back. So Arthur Gautier goes out here. He dusts Andre Pulyaev. And I was looking at this fight from many different angles as a way to put an official play on here. Ultimately, I just couldn't find a way for me to squeeze it into my slate. But Arthur Gautier should go out here and body Andre Pulyaev. I think he's safe to parlay. Even though the odds aren't exactly amazing, I do think Arthur Gautier goes out here, bodies Andre Pulyaev, and does find a finish either in the first or second round. Then we have Umar Nurmagomedov taking on Davison Figueiredo. Another fight where I wanted to play the Umar side. The odds are just crippling. They are absolutely crippling. He's a minus 1,500 favorite at the time of recording, and it just seems disrespectful. I understand that Davison Figueiredo is on his way out. He's not the man that he was when he was the destroyer in the flyweight division. All the rest of it, I get it, but you cannot play the Umar Nurmagomedov money line, really. It's just wildly mismatched. What you can do, however, is you can take Umar Nurmagomedov to win this fight via submission. So that's where I'm going to go with that one, guys. Give me Nurmagomedov to win this fight by submission. Russia versus Brazil. Let's go. Then we have Lord Jean Silva taking on Arnold Allen. Guys, I am absolutely fucking hyped for the return of Jean Silva, and unfortunately it has to be against my very beloved fighter in Arnold Allen. I'm a huge fan of Arnold Allen. I genuinely think that he's a bit of a dark horse in this division. He comes in, he is technically proficient. He always puts on a show. The dude loves to fight. Unfortunately, he's going to absolutely be drained of all of his blood as the vampire Jean Silva is going to come out here, split him open with elbows, hit him with the hardest shots that he's received in the featherweight division to date. And I think Jean Silva goes out here, bathes in Arnold Allen's blood, catches a body, gets back to winning ways, and we all remember why we fell in love with this dude striking, because Jan Silva is vicious, man. I cannot remember the last time I saw somebody in the featherweight division that comes out and hits with such malice and such devastating impact and creativity, might I add. So give me Jan Silva to go out here, win this fight by KO. It's almost 3 times your money, so the price is pretty nice as well. Then we have Natalia Silva versus Rose Namajunas, and this is going to put an absolute pin in the excitement that's going to be this card. You're all going to be gassed up from the Jan Silva-Arnold Allen fight, however that goes. It's going to be exciting. It's going to raise the tempo of the room. Then you're going to get Natalia Silva and Rose Namajunas, and all you're going to hear is, ha, 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 ha. They're going to be throwing air balls. There's going to be strikes, side kicks. I'm expecting Natalia Silva to throw side kicks and run around the outside of the octagon. Give me Natalia Silva to win this fight by decision. It's not going to be entertaining. Go ahead and grab yourself a little drink refill, top up your snacks, do all the things you need to do during this fight so that you can then settle back in and enjoy the rest of the card, because this is going the full 15, ladies and gentlemen. Then we have Waldo Cortez-Acosta taking on the Black Beast in Derek Lewis. This is a banger matchup, guys. This is an absolute banger matchup. It might last 15 seconds. It might last 15 minutes. But every time either one of these guys loads up, we're going to be holding our breath in anticipation, because both of them have one-shot knockout capability. Obviously, it's more evident in Derek Lewis. I mean, the knockout king. What are we doing here? However, Waldo Cortez-Acosta, very quietly, 16-2 record. The guy's a former professional baseball player. He's got that fastball. He's kept up with the pace inside of the UFC. At first, he just came in here as primarily a boxer. He's still just primarily a boxer, but he's also showed some wrinkles with the takedown game when needed. Example, Rebellis to Spain there. So give me Salsa Boy, Waldo Cortez-Acosta to win this fight. Round 1 or round 2 KO. That is going to be my official prediction. I think this is going to be either the last time we see Derek Lewis or the second to last time we see Derek Lewis, because even if he loses here, he could still get booked for one more sunset hoorah fight. But I think he's on the horizon. He's on his way out. And Waldo Cortez-Acosta's got to feed the 56 children that he's birthed into this earth. Then we have the co-main event of the evening. Sean O'Malley taking on Song Yadong. Guys, this is a fight where I think it is stylistically almost perfect for Sean O'Malley. The only way it would be more perfect is if Song Yadong was a little bit slower and a little bit worse of a wrestler. Other than that, I think that this is going to play into the strength of Sean O'Malley. I think that Song Yadong's striking style is going to lean into the volume, lean into the elusiveness of Sean O'Malley. If Song Yadong fails a few takedowns, takes a couple of deep, heavy breaths, Sean O'Malley's going to turn it up, turn up that volume. And Sean O'Malley hasn't been training for a 5-round fight. They've said the entire way, we've changed our training schedule. It's going to be fighting to a sprint. So I expect him to meet Song Yadong with the energy from the opening bell. I think he's going to throw strikes heavy. He's going to throw them fast. He's going to remain elusive. And we're going to see Sean O'Malley rise up and be victorious once again. I think Sean O'Malley goes out here and defeats Song Yadong. I do think that the KO is live. However, I'm going to be trusting my faith in Song Yadong's historic durability. And I'm going to take Sean O'Malley to win this by a dominant decision. Then we have the main event of the evening. Justin Gaethje takes on Paddy Pimblett. Paddy the Baddy taking on the human highlight, Justin Gaethje. What a banger, guys. Look, it's not Ilia Topuria versus Arman Tsarukyan, but it's pretty damn good. So I'm absolutely gassed up to have this be the first headliner of 2026. It's going to be an absolute incredible year. The Paramount era is very exciting. I cannot wait for every single second of it. And as for this fight, I went over it multiple times. I wanted to pick Justin Gaethje. I know that Paddy Pimblett keeps his chin in the air, and I did say earlier in the week that Justin Gaethje is live as an underdog. Forgive me for I have sinned. It's going to be Paddy the Baddy to win this fight by submission. That is just, it's written in the stars. We've seen Justin Gaethje sub before by elite-level grapplers. I do put Paddy Pimblett in the category of elite-level grappler. He lives for the fucking submission life. You can see him training all the time in the gym, getting in that work. Early on in his career, he was pretty much a submission or bust fighter. Now he's evolved in the striking as well, but he still remembers what got him to the big show. Give me Paddy the Baddy to win the UFC lightweight interim title by submission. I'm expecting it to be either a hidden arm triangle, a rear naked choke, or a It could even be a DAS, but we haven't seen that from Paddy Pimblett of late. But I'm going to say Paddy Pimblett wins this by submission, guys. That is the breakdown. And if you enjoy these videos and you want to support your boy, sign up using the link in the description as wewantpicks.com/BetSam. Code BetSam for 10% off. Sign up today or regret it tomorrow. You will unlock my picks, Jacob's picks, Angelo's picks, Adam's articles, the AI picks, and now we have also onboarded Kunith. Guys, all the value you could ever want. It is only $10 a month. What are you waiting for? Thank you for watching. I cannot wait to see these fights, guys. Let's make some money.